Welcome back to America's Retirement Headquarters, home of the Retirement Guys formula and America's Medicare Associates. Scott Kerschner and Dave Ross. 419-794-3030 is the phone number. ARHQ.com is the website. Don't forget, if you missed the first half of the show, you want to catch up on previous editions of America's Retirement Headquarters, all available for you to check out on podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Just search for America's Retirement Headquarters. It's all there for you to check out at your leisure. Now, the government has thrown different dates at us on when the Social Security Trust Fund is going to run dry. We've heard 2033, 2034, 2035. What is the truth? What is the actual number here? Here's David Dooley, the co-founder of the Social Security Risk Score.
This last report that came out in April, the number the media talked about was, hey, we have until 2035 for the solvency. And so our job is to sort of decipher what is true, what is fiction, what are scare tactics, what's political, et cetera. And we were sort of shocked when we heard 2035. We're like, that doesn't make sense based on the numbers we know. And so as we dove into the report, we did find that, in fact, the trust fund regarding specifically Social Security retirement benefits still is projected to deplete in 2033, at which time then there might only be enough money to pay 75-80% of your monthly benefits.
Whether it's 2033 or 2035, it's around the corner. So what could people do now to prepare their retirement plans for a possible 25% reduction in benefits?
You know, I always I have strong opinions. And that gets me in trouble a lot, especially at home, right? Me personally, nothing to back this up, but I don't see how. I don't see how when our government can bail out all of these auto manufacturers back several years ago, we can throw billions and billions of dollars all over the world for all kinds of different things, that we're going to let this run dry. I have a hard time believing that, but you know, it's our government, and we have to be prepared for it. You know, one of the things that I see with this is why it's so important to diversify your portfolio. If you are looking for Social Security only as a source of your retirement income, this segment right here is exactly why it's not a good idea, right? One of the things I've always said is, you know, Social Security should be a piece of the investment pie, but it shouldn't be all of the pie, right? You should definitely have another source of retirement income. What I would say is I would anticipate the retirement age being pushed back. And yeah, you may see an 80% payout with working until you're 70. I mean, that's kind of what I would see happening. Now, there are situations where some people, you know, for whatever reason, maybe didn't have the resources, didn't properly plan, whatever the case may be, and that Social Security check is all they've got coming in. You know, it happens, and that's unfortunate in certain situations. But now is the time where, if you are contemplating looking at retirement, how can you get that second source of income? Dave, I know this is a big subject for you, and why don't you go ahead and throw your input in here?
A large percentage of people are turning on their Social Security at age 62, which is the earliest date that you can do that. And the reasons that they give for it are very interesting. There's some people that will say, well, we're going to claim it while it's there. If it runs out of money, I want to get in line now and start collecting now. There are those people. There are other people who say, well, I look at my mom and my dad, and they both died in their early 70s, so longevity really isn't in my favor.
Sure.
So I'm going to turn it on so I can get some of that money back that I've paid in over all these years of work. Then you've got people who are now starting to work longer, and they're working well into their 60s. I'm one of those people. You're one of them as well.
Sure.
So should we be taking a hard look at what we call here America's retirement headquarters optimizing the Social Security and not turning it on till age 70, because you get the annual cost of living adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
You keep working, your benefit goes up each month that you delay touching it. And in some cases, and I've seen quite a few of these, where the difference between 62 and 70 can be as much as $800 a month. It's a lot of money. And remember that when you make a decision on Social Security, it's irrevocable. So once you turn it on, that's what you get. And so it's not, you're spot on when you say it's supposed to be a piece of the pie, but not the whole pie. That is why you need to talk with us, because we will put together a plan tailor-made to your individual circumstance that gives you options on when you should think about taking Social Security. And you know what? With a lot of people, and I will say this, it can be a year-to-year decision. Once they get to that full retirement age, which for me is 66 and 8 months, well, I'm going to get to that point, and then I suppose on a yearly basis, I can take a look at whether or not it's in my family's best interest to turn that benefit on.
Absolutely. We had on our show, it's been several shows ago, we had a gentleman that we do a lot of business with down in Cincinnati, Terry Eisert. And one of the things that Terry is a big proponent of is turning on Social Security as early as you can. And bankrolling the entire Social Security check. Now, and I talked with Terry between segments when he was on the radio that particular day, and I said, well, here's a problem. You can only make a certain amount of money if you turn it on before your full retirement age. And he says, yes, that is true. He says, but if you're going to work well past your full retirement age, then an ideal situation is to turn it on possibly and continue to work and put 100% bankroll that, invest that 100% of that Social Security, because then, like you said, the people that are turning it on at 62 because they're afraid it may not be there, you don't have to worry about that because you're going to be taking it, right? I agree with you. I originally said, I'm planning on working until I'm 70. I love what I do. It's fun. I'm not out in the elements beating my body up. And, I'm going to put it off until 70. But, the more I think about that, my full retirement age is 67. Well, at 67, I'm going to have a decision to make. Do I continue to work and bankroll that Social Security check? Or do I just wait? Longevity comes into play. Mom's 86 years old. I took her to the doctor last week. She got a good, clean bill of health. She's doing really well. Dad passed away at 85, so if I wait until 70 years old, I got a good 15 to maybe 17, 18 years of collecting that higher rate at the end. So these are things that the guys here at America's Retirement Headquarters really, really help with. I can help talk you through a little bit of it, but I can only get you so far. That's when I pass you over to Dave, and then Dave can take over and say, hey, here, let's look at where are your investments fitting and how can we make this work for you so it comes out to be the best in your benefit.
That Social Security risk score software is something that the team at America's Retirement Headquarters actually has access to, and they can help run those numbers to show you what it would look like if there was a reduction in benefits down the line, whether that is in 33, 34, 35, if and when it does happen. Not only that, but how to perhaps find ways to supplement and replace that income. So if you have concerns about the solvency of Social Security, which is a valid concern to have, why not reach out to the team, have them run that software for you, and show you what it could look like and how to hopefully mitigate the sting and the effect of a possible reduction in benefits. Real easy. Just give them a call, 419-794-3030 to set up a time. Tell them you want to have that Social Security risk score run, or you can go to the website, schedule a time there as well at arhq.com.